صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما وارزقني فهما. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today we are going to inshallah apply all the rules that we learned in the previous lessons from a color-coded. If I just explain the key very quickly. Color-coded Quran for learners makes it very easy because you have to have some knowledge of the rules, and if you don't remember them, then the color codes help you as you read along until it becomes a habit of yours. In this color coding, we have the pink, which is the gunna of the noon or the meme. That when you have to remember, we did the rules of idgham. So here you would apply the tanween is followed by a yarmalun letter, so you have to do idgham and gunna here, which means nasalization for 2 counts. So if you see, that's what is in this color code. Here we have tanween followed by the letter qaf, which is an ikhfa letter. So you have to do gunna here again, which means you have to nasalize the noon. Now you have to remember the rules to some extent because here you'll hide and nasalize the noon. So here, remember we did the rule of iqlab because the tanween is followed by the letter ba. So in the pink you have to nasalize, but you have to remember the rule. You're just helping you a little bit. In the blue, we have the qalqala rules are all in the blue. So if we are, for example, going to stop on one of the 5 letters of qalqala, say if it was here, then the vowel would be in blue, which means that when you change the vowel to a sukoon, you have to do qalqala here. So okay, let's go to the next page where it explains the so here, look, it tells you subs proof ko mota kare. So what they have done in this color-coded Quran is that they have also color-coded for you all the letters that you have to lift up your tongue for, and you have to read in a heavy way. Remember when we did the makharij al-huruf, we said the ra's with vowels above them or vowels before them that are on top, whether it's a pesh or a zabar, you have to recite it with a full mouth and you lift up your tongue. They've colored that for you in green. All the 7 heavy letters that we did are colored in green. See, qalqala is in blue, where you have to echo the sound. And all the pink is where you have to nasalize the sound. So inshallah, we can start if you've understood all the codes and hope that helps you whilst you are reciting. So Surat AHQAF, and who would like to start? Try to apply all the rules that we have learned so far. Look in Lafz al-Jalala, the lambs that are recited in a heavy full mouth way are all in green. All the 7 heavy letters are in green. All the ra's that should be lifted up and recited heavily are in green, but the ra that's not going to be lifted and has to be recited in a lighter way is not color-coded. Also, you will see that, look, that meme is the rule we did yesterday, is the idhar meme, is not color-coded. This is followed by one of the throat letters and does not have to be nasalized, has to be recited clearly, is not color-coded. That's idhar of the noon, that's idhar of the meme sakin. So these are all, look, here the qaf is also a heavy letter and also has to be recited with qalqala. So do you see how the color codes will help you whilst reciting? Inshallah, we can start the practice now. Who would like to recite first?
May I read it, sister?
Yes, please, go ahead. Start with a'udhu.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حميم.
So here, don't join the meme. It's not ham. It's ha and then meme, ha meme.
آمين تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم ما خلقنا السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إلا بالحق وأجل مسمى والذين كفروا عما أنذروا معرضون قل
1 second. So
أرأيتم
the makhraj of the letter dal, which is an interdental letter. Remember, we said you need to use your tongue between your teeth. Amma, the mim shadda needs nasalization for 2 counts. Amma unziru more. Repeat from here, please. والذين كفروا
والذين كفروا أما أنذروا معرضون قل أرأيتم ما تدعون من دون الله أروني ماذا خلقوا من الأرض أم لهم شرك في السماوات ائتوني بكتاب من قبل هذا أو أثرة من علم إن كنتم صادقين ومن أضل ممن يدعو من دون الله من لا يستجيب له إلى يوم القيامة وهم عن دعائهم غافلون.
You can stop now. Ahsanti, you can stop now. So I noticed again you missed the letter dal. So that's something you need to work on. You applied all the other nasalizations well, mashallah. Yad'u, your qalqala could have been more stronger. And your dal, that's something you need to work on. So when I corrected you, you recited the dals perfectly there. But then later on, 2 dals came, and again you read them as the letter za. So that's something you need to consciously stop and watch out for. Ahsanti, mashallah. Who would like to recite next, please?
May I have a go, please?
Yes, please.
Okay. We're starting from وَإِذَا. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا حشر الناس كانوا لهم أعداء وكانوا بعبادتهم كافرين وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات قال الذين كفروا للحق لما جاءهم هذا سحر مبين أم يقولون افتراه قل إن افتريته فلا تملكون لي من الله شيئا هو أعلم بما تفيدون فيه كفى به شهيدا بيني وبينكم وهو الغفور الرحيم قل ما كنت بدعا من الرسل وما أدري ما يفعل بي ولا بكم إن أتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي وما أنا إلا نذير مبين.
MashaAllah, ahsanti. Very nice recitation. MashaAllah.
Thank you, alhamdulillah.
Okay, so who would like to recite next, please?
May I, sister?
Yes, please go ahead.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قل أرأيتم إن كان من عند الله وكفرتم به وشهد شاهد من بني إسرائيل على مثله فآمن واستكبرتم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين وقال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا لو كان خيرا ما سبقونا إليه
Second, so lift up your كفروا خيرا ما. Lift up your tongue a little bit. Start again.
وقال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا لو كان خيرا ما سبقونا إليه وإذ لم يهتدوا به فسيقولون هذا إفك قديم ومن قبله كتاب موسى إماما ورحمة وهذا كتاب مصدق لسانا عربيا لينذر الذين ظلموا وبشرى. Sorry.
Lift up your ra a little bit. لينذر الذين ظلموا.
عربيا لينذر الذين ظلموا وبشرى للمحسنين.
That ra wa bushra was perfect. Ahsanti, mashallah. Very well recited. Who would like to recite next, please? Sister Zahida, would you next?
Yes, inshallah.
If anybody else, please put your name down in the chat. Otherwise, I'll assume that nobody else wants to recite. Okay, so if you put your name in the chat, I think that would be better. Okay, Sister Zahida, sorry to interrupt.
No problem. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون أولئك أصحاب الجنة خالدين فيها جزاء بما كانوا يعملون ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه إحسانا حملته أمه كرها ووضعته كرها ووضعته كرها وحمله وفصاله 30 شهرا حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة قال رب أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأصلح لي في ذريتي إني تبت إليك وإني من المسلمين.
Barakallahu feek, mashallah. Ahsanti. Okay, Sister Masuma, you would like to recite next, please?
I have this thing to ask you before. You know, this just ayat which sister has finished. Whenever two shads come together, like fi zuriyati, I struggle how to pronounce these.
Yes, we didn't do the shadda as part of the tajweed rules.
Mm-hmm.
So the ra shadda and shadda means the shadda means that there is two ras in the word. So if
Yes.
you think of the word Muhammad has two m's, swimming has two m's, same word, we have two ras and we have two yas. Now, if we open them up, if we imagine the invisible ra, let's call it, and the invisible ya that's in this word, then this word would actually those two the ra and the ya, the first one of them will always carry a sukoon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know sukoon, you can't read it on its own. It has the letter before it.
Yes.
So in that case, so for us to double up the sound of the ra, now listen carefully. So the ra has to join to the dal, that's the ra sukoon. And then the second ra will have this vowel, that's whatever is there. Whether if there was a zabar on the shadda, you would read it the second ra as the zabar. If there's a zair here, you'd read the second ra as the zair. Now, there are two yas here. And remember, we just said that the first ya carries a sukoon, so has to join to the ra. So the first ya has to join to this ra, to the ra zair. And then the second ya has the zair. So now I'm going to slowly say this word and listen how I join the first letter to the one before, and then I recite the next letter. Dur, ri, ya, ti. Dur, that's the first ra. Ri, that's the second ra joined to the ya. Ya, that's the second ya. Ti. Now put it all together. Durriyati.
Zurriyati.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. Jazakallah. I'll start.
So here, like we have two bas. We have two bas here. The first ba will have to join to the qaf. So qab, and then ba, and then lu. Nataqabbalu. But I understand you struggle with the two. So it's the
Yes.
same rule you're going to apply. Yeah. Just this ya will have to join to this ra, the second ra. Ahsanti, you can start now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أولئك الذين نتقبل عنهم أحسن ما عملوا ونتجاوز عن سيئاتهم في أصحاب الجنة وعد الصدق الذي كانوا يوعدون والذي قال لوالديه أف لكما أتعدانني I'll repeat it again. أتعدانني أن أخرج وقد خلت القرون من قبلي وهما يستغيثان الله ويلك آمن.
One second here. One second. So that's God Almighty's name, and we did the rule of this lamb. Is this lamb going to be read with a full mouth or an empty mouth here?
Full mouth.
The two lambs.
Yeah.
What makes the lambs of God's name full mouth? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right. There is that full mouth is only if there's a zabar and a pesh.
Before it, that's right. So this would be empty mouth because there is a zir before it. وَهُمَا يَسْتَغِيثَانِ اللَّهَ وَيْلَكَ آمِنْ.
وهما يستغيثان الله ويلك آمن إن وعد الله حق فيقول ما هذا إلا أساطير الأولين أولئك الذين حق عليهم القول في من قد خلت من قبلهم من الجن والإنس إنهم كانوا خاسرين ولكل درجات مما عملوا وليوفيهم أعمالهم وهم لا يظلمون.
Ahsanti, mashallah. You can stop now. Ahsanti. Very well recited. Mashallah. Ahsanti. And you were trying to understand. Ahsanti. Sister Shireen, you can go ahead next.
जी أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم
So can I
الله
stop a second, sister? Sorry. It's a'udhu. I've noticed many of you said a'udhu. Zal is with this a'udhu. The word a'udhu has this letter dal in it. Okay? And this is not the letter za. Za would be brother with the dot on top. That would be za. Okay? But
Okay.
that's za. Look. Za and that's dal. The word a'udhu has this letter, which is the interdental letter, where we have to use our tongue between the teeth. Mistake happened with the other reciters before you as well, sister. So za is this, and dal is this. A'udhu ends with this letter, not with this letter. Okay?
Okay.
So that's something
أعوذ
most.
Okay. I will inshallah pay attention. ويوم يعرض الذين كفروا على النار أذهبتم طيباتكم في حياتكم الدنيا واستمتعتم بها فاليوم تجزون عذاب الهون بما كنتم تستكبرون في الأرض بغير الحق وبما كنتم تفسقون واذكر أخا عاد إذ أنذر قومه بالأحقاف وقد خلت النذر من بين يديه ومن خلقه ألا تعبدوا إلا الله إني أخاف عليكم عذاب يوم عظيم قالوا أجئتنا لتأفكنا عن آلهتنا فأتنا بما تعدنا إن كنت من الصادقين.
Barakallahu feek. You can stop now. You applied the heavy letters so nicely, and you even God Almighty's name and all the heavy letters, the nasalizations you were applying so nicely, mashallah. What you need to work on, sister, is your interdental letters. So azim, tongue between your teeth, and dara with your tongue between your teeth. So that is what you need to work on the
Okay,
interdental.
thank you.
Ahsanti, but everything else you were applying so. So I hope today's lesson has been useful for everybody, and this is how we apply the codes that we've learned, the rules that we've learned in the color-coded Quran.